bank angle. Alright, sorry about that guys, we are finally on, so the stream is ready to get going. Excuse me. Alright, welcome to Jet Simmer YouTube channel, and welcome to the Q400-8. Yeah, so we're ready to get going. I just to set a few things up before. You probably heard it in the background. So yeah, I've got everything ready to get going for today's flight. We are sitting in Rockhampton, in the centre coast of Queensland. About an hour and a half flight to Brisbane. I am using a freeware scenery for Rockhampton from Aussie Ants scenery packs, and this is it here. Really done well. He really did well on the scenery, as you can see. I quite like it, very much so. I really do like it. So yeah, as you can see, there's no pushback in for this particular aircraft, because we'll be just taxiing straight out and around the corner. So yeah, there's hardly any pushback on this ramp, and I think there's some more up there. So you can see the wingspan, maximum 36 meter wingspan for this airport. It is a domestic airline airport, so yeah, that is this area. So yeah, Q400, at the moment I haven't installed the Pro Edition, but I've been really working on the Pilot lately, but I do have it, so eventually when I get it up and going, it'll be good. So what I'm going to do is just open up a few things, and we'll open up the doors so they can start loading and stuff like that. So alright, so yeah, this is what I'm learning in a future. So why not get a head start in the aircraft? So this is going to be my office when I get into Qantas. So yeah, I've been learning how to fly it, doing different procedures and all that sort of stuff. So today is just going to be a normal domestic flight down to Brisbane. I have all of my fuel and all that sort of stuff sorted, and I am going to show you how to do the V-speeds, because this one's not automatic like the Boeings and all that sort of stuff. So we will be doing that right now. So just making sure that the stream is all good and down to go. Awesome. So yeah, I'm just going to be doing all that sort of stuff. So before we go ahead and actually start the aircraft, we're going to open up this control panel. Unfortunately, well, fortunately, we get it as simulators, but you don't do this in the real world. You actually set the aircraft up as is. So, well, we're going to go set the aircraft up as... So we're just going to do it as all the paperwork and stuff, and make sure that the aircraft is ready to go and all this. So think of this as your load sheet. So when you get given your load sheet in the aircraft, that's sort of stuff like that. We're going to start off with 0 kilos of cargo, and as you can see here, this is the max side, and that's how much you've got in. Now we have to have 66 packs, so I'm just going to keep it like that. I might just change out this and put just change it up, so we'll take the 2 out of that as well, put 2 there, and we'll just go ahead and put 6, 7, we'll put 18 in there. No, we won't. We'll put 66 in there. 16 in there. So there. So we're at 66. Okay. So the mass there. What is this? So dry operating mass, takeoff mass, fuel. So the takeoff mass. Okay. We can find that by going up here. Takeoff fuel weight, takeoff weight here, so 28, yeah, There is another way to find it. There's if you use let me open up this one. This Lido's a little different. I'm trying to learn it. I'm trying to learn Qantas one as well. That's really hard. I can't wait to actually do a I can't wait to edit flight. So we'll edit the flight that we've already done. So this is this one here. You use this one here, Juliet Zulu Alpha. If you do that one, and you come and put this up, open up the PDF, it is a little different. It actually tells you what they are. So you got the stuff right here. It's really, really good. So it's basically everything that I've written down. It does say, so like this is your block fuel. Okay, they call it planned ramp, so it's a little different there. So yeah, so that's that. We got our alternate, reserve and contingency. Wrote all those down, so you need all those, and you need your burn, which is 1000, which is your trip fuel there, which we can go ahead and put in here. So total TO fuel, which is your takeoff fuel. Yep. Alright, so that's your takeoff fuel, which will be, we did say it on the other one, so minimum ramp, tanker, that's the takeoff weight. So there's the OEW, which is the limit, that's what is in up here. That's that number. Okay. And we are looking for our takeoff fuel now. We don't have it by the looks on here. It doesn't look like it, because you'll be able to look on this one here. Takeoff fuel 3,920. Alright, so we don't have a 3,920 on this side. Alright, so 3,920. Trip fuel, as we have stated, is 1180. Okay, and we'll go ahead and calculate that right now. Now, as you can see, we are like well and truly under. So what we'll do is we'll just add like some numbers here, just random. So there we go. So we're taking 500 kilos in the aft section, and we're taking 135 kilos in the forward section, and that is now our thing. But zero fuel weight. If you have a look at our zero fuel weight, we have 24,626. So we're going to change this around just so that we get this, because this doesn't average that, so we know we've got to take that much cargo, so we'll just stuff around the cargo until we get that. So we'll just go 325 and see what we get there. Okay, so that's taken us up to 400. Okay, so you can see takeoff mass is now slightly increased, but that's okay. We can burn some fuel before we leave. So we're going to put that up to 400 now. Okay, 400, zero fuel. The weight has gone over. Okay, so fuel mass. Alright, so we'll just drop, I reckon we'll drop that back to 200. We'll just go with what we got. Oh, good. Do not press enter when that thing's open. It closes. I always do that. We don't need that. That's all my streaming stuff. We'll open up the control panel. Alright, so we'll leave that at 3, and then we'll calculate that. Alright, so there. Could we take that back down to like 12? We'll calculate that. Alright then, don't. 2. Alright. There we go. We'll just use that as our thing. So what after we've done all of that, so that's how much is our weight and all that sort of stuff, blah blah blah. Underload, traffic load, all that sort of stuff, so we can hit OK to sim. Now that goes to the sim, and that is all we really need on that, so we can exit that now. And yeah, we don't need that. Make sure you write down your alternate, reserve and contingency, you need your planned fuel, and you also need your burn. So burn to BNE, which is Brisbane. So whatever your airport you're going to, and that's the trip. Okay, so that's those. You also need to write down your 0 fuel weight, and you need to take note of your takeoff and your landing weight there as well. Okay, that's that, and also your OEW and your books, people on board. If you're using Lido, you want these numbers here. You want your alternate, you want your fineries, because the fineries is exactly the same as reserves, and you want your count 15 min, which is the same as your contingency plan there. You also want your trip fuel, as you can see, BNE, which is Brisbane, trip, which was the same as burn and BNE, so you want that number as well. You want your takeoff fuel, and you want your bulk fuel. You want to look at these ones here, the estimated. Okay, estimated. You want to write them down at some stage as well. Down here, you'll find your packs, estimated packs. Okay, you can also use your 0 fuel. So we know it's 24,600 something. So it's just rounding this number up here. 24,600, so you round it down. Okay, so you're not really worried about the 260 kilos, you're just really worried about the reasons being, we'll show you in a sec. Okay, so that is the done part there. Okay, so we don't need that anymore, but we will keep it around. This is why you need your kilos, because you don't do the V-speeds, you do it manually, not automatically. So we know our kilos is 2,400 kilos and above. Okay, it's not above 16, so we're going to be using this line here. However, we're not using flaps 5. So there is different information here. So look up the VR and V2 from appropriate VR and V2 table. Assume that V1 is VR. So V1 will be the exact same number as VR. But I tend to put the V1 just a couple of knots below VR. Okay, in VR exceeds V2, assume a V2 as VR. So if icing, you need to use 20 knots added to it. For wet runway, we need to reduce by 8 knots, blah blah blah. We don't have a wet runway, that's okay, and VR not below 108 knots on 5 flaps. But we're not using that. We'll be using this one here today. And we'll be, it's above 20 degrees, I believe, in Rockhampton. It's 35. Wow, it's insane. Really hot. So we're using that, and it's above 20 outside temperature when we're not above that. So we will be using this number here. Okay. Alright, so we are going to write down, so 105 is V1. Like I said, I do a little bit lower than the VR. So the 110 there is our VR. And V2 is 113. Okay, so that is our rotate. So V2 is our rotate. Then we come up here and we look at our V fry, and we're looking for flaps 10. So V fry is 123, which is our what is it, 23, which is the speed that we need to be after takeoff or whatever. Our climbing 2, and then we have our climb speed at 143, so we will be doing 143 knots on our takeoff from Rockhampton today. We're going to be landing today with flaps 15, so we're not going to be 24,000 kilos on the way there. So we're probably going to be here or here. I would say here. So V approach, V ref. So we're going to be at about 106. Now, did they say something about the yeah, okay. So we're going to be landing at around 106, 112. So what we'll do is we'll write both of those numbers down. 106, 112. Reasons being is because you don't know if you're going to be holding or whatever. So if we get there really good with a good tailwind, we'll still be at 22. So we're going to need these numbers. We might get a good tailwind and we'll have more weight. So if we have a strong headwind, we'll probably be here. So we've got heads. So write those two numbers down. So you need them. Alright, so that is that. That is the kilos page, and if you're more on the imperial side, you do have a pounds page here. Okay, if you prefer to use pounds, so I'm guessing that is the same there. There's our one there for pounds, 53,000 pounds. 53,000 pounds there for the V-Fry. That's the one that we used for it, and that's the one that we used for the climb. And here is our 50, these two here, the 112 and 106. As you can see, it's 112, 112, 105, 100. So most of these numbers are roughly the same the whole way up, except for this area here where you get a little bit higher. All good. So that is those. You don't need to keep them anymore. Make sure you write them down and exit those. Apart from that, we are ready to get going. So we'll make some noise now. That's the I had it. What happens as well when you're using that config and you send it, it actually pauses the flight, so you need to unpause the flight, okay? Alright, so that's the very annoying noise of that. What we'll do is we'll completely shut the aircraft down. Just so you can see the startup. Alright, there we go. Alright, so we're sitting in the aircraft now. Okay, and we will get ready for the main startup here procedure. So yeah, Rockhampton, freeware. This is free, so it is really good for a freeware airport. I actually landed here last night, so I didn't get to really see it. But I have flown in and out of here all the time with the freeware. I just haven't had it downloaded, and now that I've got this aircraft, I can come and land here because 737 Qantas Airlines don't land here. Virgin do, but I'm a Qantas fan. So yeah, we'll go ahead and get a start up. So we're going to go battery, all the masters, gen, and that. And since we have power outside, we'll hit the power as well. We'll come down here. We're not going to worry about the ice just yet. We'll come down. Nope. We can go ahead and turn some lights on so you can see some of the instruments. We'll just do it halfway. It's daytime, so we don't really need them on bright. I actually had a thought about this. What happens if the lights... Okay, the aircraft's doing a few startup procedures now. Okay, sorry about that. I got confused for a second. Yeah, so what happens if the lights go out? Like, do you have to pull the whole thing out and yeah, fix it? Alright, so we go ahead and we put on our navigation, which is that one there. Okay, I'll move over so you can see what I'm doing. Alright, so that is our position lights there, so you can turn them on and off. That's the green and red lights, left and right. And we'll go ahead and turn that off there. What we do is come over here and turn the generator controls on and turn the fan on. Leave the bleed off. And we're going to test the advisory for the first flight of the day. Make sure everything is all good. I'm doing a little bit back at the moment. And we'll click the caution lights. Make sure they come back on. And we can make them dim or we can make them bright. That's okay. It's not a big deal. We'll go up here and do our fire test, APU test. And we'll test our engines. Cool. We've done all of that now. We'll go over and have a look at these tests now. So you're testing that area now. Still warning test. Then we're going to turn the circuit breakers on, the lights on if you have a aircraft. If it's dark, just have a look at all the circuit breakers. If you get the Pro Edition, you can actually click all these out, so you're going to make sure about that. While we're here, we'll open up our vents as well. And we'll have a look out the back here, make sure these circuit breakers are good. And if you need lights, the circuit breaker light is here, I believe. Yep. Make sure they're off, and you want to check these green things, okay? Make sure they're green. There should be another one around the other side here. There it is there. Okay, cool. What we'll do is we'll go ahead and close our seat. Alright, so we're good. So there's a green there, and the other green was behind our seat, wasn't it? There it is there. Cool. Alrighty. Okay, so basically that is the start. We can go ahead and arm our emergency lights. Done. We can go ahead and turn off the circuit breaker lights as well. Okay. We can turn off this just for now, just so you can see what's going on the instruments. Brilliant. Okay. And get rid of the caution light. Alright, so basically the aircraft's ready to get going. I do have a checklist hiding somewhere. So I pretty much did most of it. Whether or not I did it in order, that's another thing. But I did what I could remember. I'm trying not to remember if I can. I want to be able to, like, I'm trying not to use the checklist. Alright, so now we got to do the, we got to go ahead and do FMS, that thing. So we'll go ahead and turn on there. So there's one button there and another button there, so they should turn on together. And I've also tagged the radios onto both. The reason I did them both is because I can go here and I can change the, oh, I'm going to turn that off so you can't hear that all the time. And that is it. So now it's changed there. So okay, cool. So what we're gonna do, so it's passed now. So we'll go here, and I'll turn that little talkie off so you can't hear that. We'll go to services. No, we don't. Return. Go there, and we'll turn the script off here. Page next. Stop. Done. Okay. Alright, so what we need to do here is have a look at our, okay, so we're going to go check our engines, fuel system, and we're going to go to systems here and check the electrical. So he's now looking at fuel, we are now looking at the electrical, so we know we're on main battery outload, so we're actually getting positive to our battery. So that's all the stuff. Well, no APU was on, AC Gen and AC2 are off, A, B, and C on both, APU Gen load and all that sort of stuff. So it's not a big deal just yet. We'll have a look at that once we start up. Okay. Alright, so what we'll do is we'll go ahead and we'll implement our fuel. Alright, so we do know our zero fuel weight. So our zero fuel weight was 24,626. Alright. Our alternate was 310. We hit enter. Our hold, which was our 668, and our extra was our contingency planned, which is 262, and our reserves should pop up here. There it is, and that's very close to what our reserves were anyway. If we have a look at our total reserves here, there's our extra there. It's a little bit different. It's a little bit out, just a little bit under actually. That's alright. That's because this is setting up for like a similar realistic aircraft. This is still a simulator. So the fuel on board we have today is fuel on board is 4,111. So we can go ahead and have a look at that. If you really wanted to, you could go here and have a look at the fuel on board, which is 3,920, which is what I've got. That's 5 kilos more than what I've actually got, so we can actually look at that. So 3,925, so we'll do that. 3,925. Alright, there it is. 0 fuel weight 24626. There it is, and that is our gross weight of our aircraft today. Alright. Okay, so we're pretty much done, and you can have a look at all the other stuff when it fills out. So we're going to go ahead and do our flight plan. Now you can put a flight plan straight in, but I've already got one sent from SimBrief. So we go ahead and take 4, enter. So this is us down to Brisbane. So we're going to be leaving on Budgie. That's that. So what we need to do is check the star and SID on that. I've got it on my tablet unfortunately, so you won't be seeing it today. But if you're using the Navigraph, you can find out that yourself. So we're going to check out Budgie here. And I believe we're going to be taking off runway 32, I think we're taking off from today. So we'll be going out to, where do we go here? So we'll take menu, depart. We're going to be leaving, I believe, runway 33. So what we'll do really quickly is just listen to that's a bit nasty. Alright, so yeah, we'll be leaving on runway 33. I'm hoping that that fixes itself up soon. That shouldn't be like that. That's alright. Okay, well, we're leaving on runway 33 anyways. All we have to do is check the weather. Yeah, runway 33. Actually, 4 knots. Now we'll be taking off runway 15. Runway 15. So we'll enter runway 15 into the depart runway 15 2. We're going to be using 1. Done. Runway 15 done. Cool. We're going to enter. You got to click enter again, otherwise it doesn't go in. And there we go. We put it in. Alright, so we got our course that we'll be leaving at 148. And then we're going to be turning right to the one, which will be at 1,300 feet for this. Intercept, and then we'll be turning to 174, which is when I'm looking at the chart right now, which is 100%. Okay, so what we need to do now, we need to grab fuel. Sorry, see this link, no link here, so we're going to delete that. We're going to delete the RK, we don't need that, and there's Budgie right there. Okay. Now Budgie is showing up twice, so we're going to delete Budgie again. Done. Okay, so now we move on to our next areas. So we're going to be getting a a star for Bravo Uniform Romeo Papa Alpha. So I need to find Brisbane's one. So star. So we'll go here and arrive. They did say 14, but I don't know if it will be 14, but we'll put in 1 for now, just in case. Need to find a decent decent star. Now normally they give you this sort of stuff, so when you're when you're doing it yourself, it's a little different, a lot different. I think we're going to come in on Kiwi. Yeah, we'll be coming in on that one there. Okay, so have a look at this one here. Kiwi 4 Alpha 7 for runway 1. Approaching at a 2. And alright, so what we're going to do now is, as you can see, we're going to delete that one. We don't need it. We're going to delete the no link. We're going to delete 9 as well. And from there, blend, yep, cool. Okay, so then we do the no link here as well, and then we come down into runway 1. Now we do not delete these links here, but we just get rid of them so they don't flash on us. Okay, so that is the flight plan there. You don't need to set up any altitude. We know what our altitude is, so that's the flight plan. We've done our fuel. Perf page is all set up and all that sort of stuff as well, so temperature is 20 plus outside, so that's our weight now, and fuel on board and all that sort of lovely lovelies. Alright, so let's stick on the flight plan and we are good to go. Now what we need to do is we need to exfil this over, so we're going to click accept there, and we're going to click over here, exfil flight plan. So everything we did on here is coming over to the other side. Exfil the fuel. How you going, mate? Welcome to the stream. Sorry about that, I was really into watching. So now if we go to fuel and we go to flight plan, there is our flight plan. It's just been swapped over twice. Okay, so that is basic done. So the FMC is complete. Now if I go ahead and have a look at the checklist here, we need to do before start. So we need to set the trims. So this is our trim here. Make sure our trim, why is our trim not working? That trim should be working. Let's double check. Okay, that's there. No, that's there. Controls. Just double check to see that we got trim on our elevator trim. Alright, cool. It's there. Maybe it's because of the hydraulics, I don't know. Elevator shut off. Okay. There we go. And turn the trim back on. There we go. Still learning. Still learning. Okay, so that's basically that. Nothing has really changed in our power. So, okay, so trims are set. We've got to make sure our other trims are all set and all that sort of stuff. Okay, so 0 and neutral. Okay, the doors are closing now and having a look at our doors by doing the door system here. So we're going to go here, I'm going to go electrical doors. So doors, packs, doors is still open. We'll close that up now. Alright, that's good. Okay, so we're going to swap the first officer over to navigation, and myself, we're going to have a look at nav 2. We are going to look at the different format by going here. So we're going to have the terrain here, and they're going to have weather. Alright, but we're going to check our flight plan, make sure that it's good. So we're going to have a look real close, so we can go there, and there's our Brisbane one. So if we want to go all the way out and check the whole thing, there it is up there. Alright, so it doesn't look like there's any discrepancies, so we're going to hit the format button again and go back to our navigation page, like our terrain page. Now what we need to do, we want to follow the flight plan. So instead of me flying the whole thing by myself, we're going to go hit this button here, which is the takeoff ground button, the toga button. We're going to push it now. It's early. As you can see, we are now at wing level and GA. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit nav. No, not... Yeah, we're going to hit nav. Is it nav? Or is it this one? There we go. No, we're not going to hit nav. We're going to hit IAS. Okay. We need it to go to, alright, first off we need to go FMS. Alright, so what we need to do is have FMS1 and FMS2. There we go, LNAV. Okay, so now the flight directives come on and we're ready to go. So what you need to do is swap these ones here. So FMS1, okay, we're going to turn off this one here. And we're going to turn off that one there and go FMS2. So what it does, so it changes this. So if I go and turn a few of these on, I can see what the other FMS is doing and all that sort of stuff. But I don't really want to see what that guy's doing over there. I just want to see what I'm doing over here. Alright, so FMS1 off, FMS2 on, off, sorry, not on. Okay, to change that to look like this, hit the format button, no, terrain button, my bad. There you go. But we're going to have him on weather, okay, just leave it on weather. Alright, so basically that's it. When you want to get this part, once the FMSs are set up, you hit toga, navigation, and you get your LNAV on the screen. Alright, that's it there. Okay, so we'll go ahead and do the next lot. Passenger signs. 1. No smoking on. So we know the door lights are out. Cabin report is received. Flight doors are locked. Anti-collision light we're going to set to red now. So that flicked up. Okay. Now to find out where the anti-collision light red is, it should be right above our aircraft. There it is. Okay. This aircraft does not have strobes on the wings. Okay, the strobes are up there and underneath. Okay, so if you are wondering why there's no strobe lights, like I did, that is where it is. Alright, we need to go ahead and start the APU now. So we'll turn the power on, wait until all the lights change, and then we'll start the APU. How you going? Welcome to the stream, mate. Okay, and it should start up very shortly. It actually sounds really cool outside, you can hear it. So the APU on this aircraft is right there, so you can actually hear the APU going right now. Alright, so that we should be able to, so warm, click that. Now it hasn't changed, reasons being, so we're still on engine power. Take that off, external power, not engine power, external power, that thing. Alright, so we've done that, and we can go ahead and go blue. Bleed on, and we can yeah, that's it there, and cancel. So that will get rid of the external thing for me. That is really annoying, guys. We're gonna turn that off. Turn that off. Okay. Alright, so we've done that. We are pretty much good to get going now. We've got to make sure that our battery, so let's just do this electrical system. Yeah, batteries are all good. And now we're ready to start engines. Okay, so just say that we are ready to get going. We've got a few more things that we need to do. G'day, mate. Do I prefer this over Prepared 3D? I don't have an opinion on Prepared because I do not have Prepared. However, looking at the airfield, now this is freeware. This airfield is freeware. Looks pretty decent compared to some of the Prepared freeware defaults that I've seen. I'm looking forward to finding some more freeware out there eventually, so yeah, it's pretty good. However, the aircraft speaks for itself. Now I'm guessing the Prepared aircraft looks very similar, maybe a little bit more sharper. However, I do not mind this aircraft at all. Alright, so where was I? Okay, we're getting ready to set up. Okay, we're going to set our V-speeds really quickly. Now this is, like I said, you can pick up from the V cards that we showed you earlier. So V-speed, V1, I always go a few knots under. V1 is equal to VR in this aircraft, but however, I want to see certain things on the aircraft. So VR is 10, so I always want to see the VR on the way up so I can judge my takeoff. And our V2, make sure that's 5. Our V2 is 113. And our V-fry is 123. And our V-climb, our climbing speed is 143. So make sure you write these down, because yes, this aircraft does not put these all in by itself. Now that should just disappear after time. Okay, now we know what our altimeter is. I already looked. It is 1010. There it is, and we set this one over here as well. You can get rid of the information there. I'm just making sure you know there's 1010 there and the numbers. Okay, this one's a little bit more weird when it comes to it. Alright, so we're going to check our MDA here, and we need to be 1,000 feet above the airfield, so it's 1,080. And I'll show you why we need to do that when we get up there. Okay, and we're going to leave that on our decision height there. Alright, that should be it. Alright, we can go ahead and start this lovely aircraft. Alright, so we've got a few things that we need to do now. Bleed is off. We're going to turn our bleed to minimum. We're going to start our ignition on both and click the right engine. Change the views just for a second. Might put those speeds up there. There we go. Alright, so what we're going to be doing really quickly once we're ready to get going is click, there we go. So we should be able to see that start up soon. Do it a bit more realistically instead of using particular cameras. Yep, she's starting up alright. There you go. You can see the view there. Alrighty, and you can have a look in here to make sure that it's going. Okay, we've had a click off there, so we're going to start on 1. How you going? Welcome to the stream there. We're just about to start up and take off. Well, we're already in halfway through the startup process. Alright, so the Dash 8 has a couple of different different throttle positions. We're just sitting on the feathered position, so there's no actual power into the aircraft there. Alright, so what we're going to do now is hit the auto feather on, pumps on. And then we're going to go ahead and do bleed 1-2 and turn off the gen first, power off, then master tie off. Go ahead and turn our pitot static on and warm up our windshield. These three and that one has to be on, doesn't matter how hot it is or cold. Okay. These ones here, we will have a look at those when we get out to the runway. Everything else should be on, that is that. We are pretty good there. And we'll crank this up to max power now. And turn on our hydraulics and turn on the feather and the 2 fuel pumps. And as you can hear the roaringness of the plane, I love it. I love these engines when they do that. Alrighty, we are good. Now what do we got here? Anti-skid. Okay, if you don't know where the anti-skid is, there it is. Okay. Alright, so we got no warnings there now. We can go ahead and turn our yaw dampener on. I think that is our checklist. So external power off with his APU, main bus is off. Electrical power panel checked. Yeah, we've got our electrical panel is checked there. Condition levers fully maxed, which we have done. We've selected our auto feather. Fuel pumps are on. Hydraulics are checked, done. Flaps speeds checked, timetable done. So we're going to go landing flaps 15. Flaps we'll sort out when we get out there. We already know that. The rudder and all that is done. We're going to turn our nose wheel steering on. PFD and ME checked. We know all those stuff are done. Bleeds are on for 1 minute. We have done that. DIS checked. Any ice protection checked, and transponder. If we click and hold this button, it will change that on alt. Okay. And that is it there. Alrighty. Make sure that your takeoff trim is in the TO, otherwise this aircraft will do all sorts of different things. We're going to click on our control lock there so we don't go too far forward. And that is it. Make sure that we check the heading of where we're going, which is, what did we say? 14 something. 142, I believe it was. I need to get out the. That's it there. 142. I'm just going to say it was 142. It might have been 140. 148. I was way off. Well, when I say way off, not really, but. Alright, so that's our heading. That's where we're going to be taking off from. So we're pretty much good to go. We're going to change you back to navigation. And we're good to get going. Taxi lights on. We don't need the wing light or any of the other stuff there. Yep, we're good. Okay, so that is the... There. Now we'll go through our checklist really quick. So brakes checked, takeoff warning tested, checked, which is over here. Done. Flight instruments checked. So let's pull it out. Okay. So full up, full down, and left and right. Now we can't do this other one just yet. Alright, because we are using the tail. Once we're up in the air, then we'll be able to do the other one, so it's a little bit annoying. If we really wanted to, I guess we could go fly it, check it, it's all good. We'll have a look at that later. Yaw dampener's on, as we said, clearance is done, cabin is secure. Okay, so we're ready to get going out to our airfield. Okay. Brakes off. And we'll crack open the throttle. Alright, rocky ground. Now that's quite annoying. Might do a really quick U-turn just so I can get this turned off. If it doesn't turn off, we'll just go back out. So they are using 3-3, even though they made me land on runway 15 before. That's alright, we can still do that. Take off from runway 3-3. Alright, so they're not going to do anything. So we'll go out to runway 33 and take off. So we actually need to change our direction really quickly. Alright, 328 is where we're going. Now, no need for brakes on this aircraft. It when you pull the throttle back, it goes into a defeather and starts reversing somewhat. So called, yeah, just it's really good. You can hear it. There you go. It's reversing. So I just leave it just sitting above on flight idle. Whoever did this airport, bloody hell, brilliant, I tell you. Aussie ants. Alright, so we've given permission to taxi onto the runway, blah blah blah, yeah, since the ATC is not working that well at the moment. Alright, so external lights are on now, and we change our anti-collision light to white, which is our strobes. We go ahead and turn our spoilers to flight, and leave everything else there for now. All I know is he did really, really well with this airfield. Overshoot. There was. Going a bit quick. Alright, we're lined up in the runway. We're going to get rid of that now, and we're going to turn our nose reel off. Alright, ready to get going. And all we do is just throttle straight up and let the aircraft do the rest of it. That was the flaps warning. Takeoff 10 flaps. That was my bad. I should have done that. Okay, V2, rotate. Positive climb up. I'll give you not clear to take off in a minute. That is really annoying. Alright, so that MDA that's coming up there. Alright, so we're going to drop our power back to there. So that is our indication for to do our shut up. That was indication to do our after takeoff checklist. Okay, so we've done the throttle. We need to turn off the auto feather, and we need to turn off the tank. So we're going to also go ahead and turn off our hydraulics as well. And we'll just go around and do a turn around. Data, cabin, safety, I'm just doing a cabin thingy to get rid of that noise in the background. How you going, mate? Welcome to the stream. Alright, so now we are pretty much heading for where we're meant to be going. You know what? I probably need to just turn that on. Let's just turn it on. You can't really hear it. Play the script. Alrighty, we'll go ahead and turn the autopilot on, and we'll turn that on there. Okay, so now we're flying at our VNAV all the way up. Keep the throttles as high as we can get them, and we are on MCL, which is our, if you have a look at here, it will tell you our max climb rating. So we're clicked on that, which is 83%. So there we go. Alright, so we are pretty much heading out already. We're on LNAV and we are on our way. So now we don't really need any of these on takeoff. This is only if you got ice forming. Now we don't have any ice forming, so you got to block at this the whole time. It could come underneath if it does. But we are plus 19 and plus 17, so it's not a big deal. Alright, so we don't really need that stuff. If you do get icing, just turn the props on to add that on the slow. Maybe fast to get rid of the ice and then back to slow. But it's quite hot today in Queensland, so we don't really need to worry about that. But yeah, the Majestic Dash 8 is very, very hands-on. I tell you, it is probably one of the most complex aircraft out there. I find the Boeing 737 PMDG a lot easier to fly. It's a lot user-friendly, but a lot of people still have problems with that too. But if you have problems with that, oh, you're going to have problems with this, because most of this is manual inputs. The autopilot is basic flying, like all the rest is even landing tends to be very close to your manual landing. There's no auto landing in this aircraft, so you're going to be manual landing quite a bit with this aircraft, which I don't mind. I did a really good manual landing yesterday. Now that's probably just a fluke, so we'll see how it goes today when we get down to Brisbane. Alright, so we're coming up to our 10,000 feet, which is the transition level. So we'll go ahead and we'll turn off our landing lights, and we'll turn off the seatbelt. Okay, cool. What we're going to do now is just quickly have a look at the VNAV approach thing. So, looking at this thing first, so we know we have to be at below 5,000 at Kilo Echo Victor India Echo. So what we do is we go here, we go 2, we look 7, done. So we'll go here, 2, 7, enter. Maybe it's not 7. 6. They should have done something by now. Alrighty, so what we need to do is set our altitude. Something that you probably would have done on the ground, but I keep forgetting sometimes, but that's okay. So our altitude is 22,000 feet on this flight. So what we do here, and what we need to do is go altitude select. So now the autopilot will know where we need to go. So we're now going over to Budgie here. Okay, so we got a bit of turbulence, but it's not that bad, I don't think. No, it's just the... Very quiet outside, isn't it? Very, very quiet outside compared to inside. Now, if you haven't noticed, the aircraft I'm flying is exactly the same as my thumbnail. Now, the thumbnail is the real aircraft. It's a photo of the real aircraft. So this is the one that I'm flying in the, so it's an actual active airline airframe in real life at the moment. So yeah, so this is the aircraft as is. Alright, so yeah, it's really, really good. I quite like being able to fly real aircraft instead of just fictitious aircraft in the game. So yeah, it's really good. I really like the idea of it. As you can see, the oh god, it's got a bit of static there. I don't know what that was all. But if you have a look at the wings are doing pretty well. Bring the flaps up. I totally forgot to bring the flaps up. They've been down for a bit. Did I have the flaps down the whole time? I totally forgot. Okay. Whatever. Okay, so yeah, we're going now. Yeah, so this aircraft, like I said, is very, very hands-on. MCL. Alright, I don't know what's going on there, so what we'll do is we'll fly this leg to ourselves. I know exactly what's wrong. Okay, we'll click that. There we go. Was it 143 was our climb speed. There we go. IAS was too low. If you're running the IAS LNAV thing, you need to make sure. So using the nose up and nose down will change your speed for the aircraft. So you do that. Alright, so let's see if we can find this baby. 7. There it is. Okay, so we got 7. We need to change this here, this little enter. We need to bring that to 4,900. And there. And we'll do 1,600 for the descent there. Alright, so now that is all set. That's our VR, so we've got a top of descent and how far away it is and all that sort of stuff. So, and what our degree of pitch is going to be. So it's going to be minus 4.82. It's going to go down. We'll do whatever it plans on doing. Okay. Alright, so we're going to go to a flight plan, and you'll see a few certain things here. We'll talk to the center. Yeah, that should be on before we take off. That's okay. We'll set that up though. Done. Hey, you go, mate. Welcome to the stream there. Alright, so basically now we just cruise out and fly along. Watching the MCL, which is 65% of our engine speed. The aircraft's doing all of that, even though our throttles are full forward. However, once we do get to our flight level, the auto throttle does not work anymore. Alright, so now we need to set the landing altitude. Now we know our landing altitude for Brisbane is 0. Everything else can stay on auto. We can turn that back to normal and say sorry to the lovely people in the back there. Turn our engine ignition off. We are good to get going. Good. We're all good. Oh, and taxi light. Done. Not that the taxi light was working anyway, because that's on the wheel, so it's all hiding inside. So, oh, good, and we are pretty much good to get going. We don't need. We'll just leave. I think we'll just leave this one on a bit so we can see a bit in the shade. Everything else, I don't think we really need to change. All right, so that ding was our altitude level. So we're coming up to our 2,200 feet there. Alright, we're going to go ahead and check the checklist now. Anti-collision lights white, that's all after takeoff. So landing gear up, flaps up, leads on normal. And climb power set. We've done all of that sort of stuff. Climb, we've done all of that. There's one thing I didn't do. That. Click that. Alright, so altimeter's done. Ice protection required. Now, I don't think we need ice, but we've got all of that on. That is on now. Windshield, make sure that doesn't ice up. Good. Ice protection, pressurization, the hydraulics and auto feather are all on and off, so we're good there. Alright, so we're pretty much done. Now we just wait for our descent, and that will be coming quite shortly, I believe. Now if we have a look at here, maybe not. Okay, so we'll go format. We'll change our page over. Okay, so you can see the top of descent there as we did on our VNav page there, so that's our top of descent. Okay. So we're on the right track for VNav. So what we can do here is set up for one-way one. To do that, we press and hold the format button and change this. Now we're going to change this around to 16, and we'll do the same for the first officer. Format. Reasons why you need to do the press and hold button, it's because if you don't, you do that. And the reasons why we need to do it as well, we can't change, if you have a look, you can't change the course while it's locked in, so it's really good. I prefer it like that. So we're going to bring the heading around to 142, 142. Okay. Alright, so that's that. Now we're coming down to the 4,900 we need to be at. Because I don't know where we're landing, so we'll just come down to 4,900. Alright, so we've done that. We can go ahead and click VNav. Yeah. Is it nav? Oh no. VNav. Nope. I was hoping there would be a VNav there. Will speed up to about 240. 3. There we go. Alright, we're good. Get a couple of bit of speed up. I'm pretty sure we've got the fuel to last anyway, 1700. Yeah, we got plenty of fuel. But that is the Q400 ready to get going. That's really good. The good thing about this aircraft too is these windows will ice up. So you got to make sure that you're on the ball with all the different bits and pieces. So watching down here for a ice warning, all that sort of stuff. Top of descent is 161 nautical miles away. One thing that we that we have learned so far in aviation is acronyms. 3-letter acronyms, 4-letter acronyms. Oh, so many, way many. 3 LAs and 4 LAs. So you'll learn a lot of them. So now we're going to look at approach and all that sort of stuff. So what we'll do is we'll start setting up for that right now. So just bring up the... Now unfortunately you're not going to see the charts, but that's alright, it's a big deal. Do the charts one day. Alrighty, go ahead and swap the VOR over here. We'll swap that to 20, 13, lock that in over there. 1320, so that's Brisbane locked in, and we'll change the, get ready for the ILS approach here for runway 1. Now I don't know what landing we're going to be doing over lock in, swap, swap. Just make sure they swap over there properly. Okay, so that's because these are on both. If they're not on both, it'll only swap to one. Okay. So that's basically it. We need to set, so we know that we need to set the heading to 16, so we've done that. Now it's going to be 2,500 for our altitude, but we're going to leave it at 4,900 for now, just in case we have to swap to a different runway. We're going to swap our ILS to 220, so DH, our decision height, will be 220 with the ILS today. And we're going to go ahead and check our V8. The app was, we're going to just stick with 112. We're going to be a little bit faster than a little bit lighter. So we do have two. We have 106 and 112. Now the reasons being is because we don't know if we're going to be either 20,000 kilos and above or 22,000 kilos and above. So we'll just set for the 22,000 kilos and above, and if we're too fast, then it's a lot better than being too slow. So we set that, that's okay, and we can go ahead and set our MD8 same to the, what do we got? So let's set that for 500 above the runway, so 520. Okay, so that's setting it above the runway, 520, and 220 is our decision height. If we have not made contact with the runway, or we are not fully ready at that time, we will be doing a go around. But if we are at our decision height and I deemed it safe to land, we will land at runway 101 left. Even though there is not a right, no, runway 011, sorry, even though there's not a left, it's not been built yet, but apparently according to H.O.T.A.S and Navigraph and a whole bunch of other variables that I don't know, too above and pay grade at the moment. Apparently there is another runway at Brisbane, but it doesn't exist yet, it's not built. So it'll be built eventually. So here we go. Hey Yame, welcome to the stream. Thank you for watching. Basically that should be about it. We're pretty much done here. So now we're just chilling and waiting for the top of descent. So we will be at top of descent at so we're actually flying to this one, so 523, 534, so we're a little bit off the Sierra Uniform Sierra Golf India. Then we'll be here, here, and then I think it's just after or just before here we do our top of descent, so we've got a little bit to wait. So yeah, any questions, throw them at me. I'll be able to answer them since I got nothing much to do for now. Love this aircraft, can't wait to fly for real and do real passengers and stuff. Just simulation training for now, and my bachelor is going really well, week 3 into the bachelor. And then on to QFPP, which I've applied for, and just crossing fingers basically. But yeah, well and truly into the training now, and I'm on the way to being a Qantas Link pilot. Everyone else has done it in the past, so why can't I? It's a lot of work, but it's really, really good. Really, really good training so far, and I really like it. Alright. Go out and have a look around the aircraft. So, just a couple of different views. Very quiet outside the aircraft, despite it being propellant. And back to the start. So this is basically a window view, so we can have a look left and right. I try to do it as realistic as possible because you're not going to see that. You won't see that from the window unless you're really looking out like this. You go all the way out here, but if you do that, you start glitching out the window. So if you really want to look, you come forward a bit, go this way, but then you start glitching out there. But yeah, I mucked around in an aircraft once, a Q400, and I fell in love. But 737's where I believe my heart belongs. Alright, and there's the back and throttle quadrant. This is a bloke that stands here. There is a seat on this somewhere. You can put a seat on there, but this guy's just standing if you wanted to. And that's the first person cockpit. And back here again. Yeah, there's two VCs. I don't know why there's two VCs. How you going, mate? Got a bit of turbulence, so let's go ahead and whack on the seatbelt. You have a look out here as the turbulence going, you can see the wing. It looks pretty freaking cool. Looks very stiff, doesn't it? Looks very, very stiff. Now I'm also running AccuFuel. So if we go add-ons, AccuFuel setup, you can see it's actually turned on, so it's really, really good. Hey, you going, mate? Welcome to the stream. Thanks for joining. What else have we got? That's pretty much about it until we start getting up there. That was us anyways. So we're coming up to Susji? How much further? What time do we get there? Still, let's just zoom in here. Alright, so 5:32 and 5:29, so we've got about 3 minutes till Susji. So far so good. Nothing's really happening. 30 minutes into the flight. No weather by the looks of it just yet. And we're back to stable. There's not really any turbulence. We're going to turn that off now. Get rid of that. So our bus is off. Our main bus is off. Do we have any ice? No, we don't have any ice yet either. Cool. We are pretty much on the go. Let's just bring it up to 2.8. MCR. So we'll change to MCR now. I should have been on MCR the whole time, but I don't know why it was doing what I was doing. Altitude done. Okay, sit. Got a nice creaky chair for you. I need to go and get some CLC and fix that. 4,009. So we'll take it down to 4,900 here. Now I should select. Despite it being a very hands-on aircraft, once it's nice and stable up here, it's really good. So not too much of a problem. So we've got no warnings, we're going good. We've got no anti-ice warning either. But if you want to, you can always have this turned on to slow or fast and turn that on. If you are in really cold conditions, you turn those on. And this one, this increases your ref speed, so if you are in a cold condition, as you can see, they're actually working. If you're in cold conditions, you have to have 20 knots more than what your VREF speeds are actually meant to be. So you turn that on so the aircraft knows it has to do 20% more, or 20 knots more. Hey, you going, mate? Welcome to the stream. Thanks for joining. As I don't fly in cold conditions that often, considering it is a blistering 39 degrees outside, I believe. What is it in Brisbane? Let's have a look in Brisbane. So I'm using Active Sky 16, which is live weather. So it's 30 degrees over at the airport, but where I live in Ipswich, I think it's 9 degrees more. The reason it's 30 degrees over there is because it's right next to the airfield. So Brisbane is actually 10, 10, 29, and 83. And we have winds of 130 to 15, so we will be landing on runway 1, I believe. Maybe? No, they probably will be landing on runway 14. I think we do have runway 1 set up though, don't we? We'll see what the I'm pretty sure the flight sim will tell us to land on runway 1, despite it, because I don't think it knows to send us to runway 14. We probably should be landing on runway 14. It's all good. Well, let's have a massive crosswind to fight. How you going? Welcome to the stream there. Might get an overlay one day, so I can have the overlay there. See how far away we are from particulars. We should start turning here, so why not jump out in the left hand window and watch the aircraft. Ooh, glitch like that. No, we don't want that. We want to see the aircraft do a slight turn. So yeah, you can actually come inside the aircraft. Can we come inside the aircraft? Thought we could. There we go. We'll come inside and have a look around. We do that. Like, despite the glitches like that, that's really annoying, but you just zoom in, get rid of it. And you can just see outside, just as if you're inside. No, it wasn't us. So you kinda can get some like camera footage of inside the aircraft and outside the aircraft with the windows. If you can get rid of the glitches, probably better in Prepared 3D when I do get it one day, if I get it. I'm planning on getting X-Plane back sorted out and sort of stuff, but I don't think they have Majestic, unfortunately, for X-Plane. And if they did, oh, I can't wait. Hey, you go, mate. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for joining. It's the most I've had watching the stream. 7. We're going well. Slowly but surely. So yeah, that's the lovely Majestic aircraft. If any of you guys play the fly the PMDG or the Queen of the Skies 747 or the 777, yeah, get in this aircraft. I can tell you now, this aircraft is hands-on crazy. Those 3 aircraft I mentioned from PMDG, they are nothing compared to this. This aircraft is very, very complex. I also have the Quality Wings 146 series B, British Airways, yeah, the BAEs, those ones. But I don't actually fly them, so not anymore, not as much. Qantas Link don't use them. They've been overtaken by this aircraft. This aircraft took their spot back in 2006, I believe, somewhere around there. So yeah, Q400 doing really well. And yeah, now this aircraft is very, very hands-on, very, very complex, and not many auto lands anymore with this aircraft. Most of the landings you'll do will be via your hand inputs on the control sticks. I have bid in a real Q400, and I also seen quite a few photos at my university where I'm studying aviation to be a pilot. And this is the aircraft that we'll be transitioning into once we leave our flight training and all of that sort of stuff through the Qantas Future Flyer program, which I applied for earlier this week. So yeah, I've actually seen the aircraft. I've seen operations of this aircraft on YouTube, which you can see yourself. And yeah, the cockpit 100% almost. I can't really tell any deficiencies. 100% looks exactly the same. If you do have the Pro Edition and you have the head-up display, the aircraft that I'm flying, this one here, Victor Hotel Kilo Oscar Alpha, is an actual Qantas Link aircraft. As you can see, the thumbnail of this video live stream is the real aircraft. I didn't take one from in the stream. I took one from the real aircraft off Google and used it instead. So yeah, and I am promoting it as this aircraft. So it's really good to be able to fly something that is still around. Let me get the messages up. I just seen some messages pop up. Yes, I have heard about the QFPP program. My university is sponsored by Qantas, and we get straight into it. Yeah, our university, University of Southern Queensland, has the QFPP program inbuilt in it. So basically, after we do our bachelor, we go straight to QFPP out at Brisbane, because they had literally just started it like last year sometime, and they're trying to get funding to run the QFPP program out of the Brisbane Well Camp out of Toowoomba. I have met the chief of Qantas Link last week, I believe, and yeah, they're doing a lot of over the next 5 years, like 2,000 applications. They're hiring 2,000 people for flying, which is like super good. So yeah, if you didn't hear, I'm doing it at USQ, University of Southern Queensland, which is in Brisbane, and yeah, that is, QFPP has pretty much got their little fingers wrapped around USQ, because we have a ex-Qantas pilot and chief of something. I can't remember what he was. He is the lecturer, and he has a lot of connections. So, yeah, go join USQ. Go and kiss his boot and find some friends, and you'll get a job. Pretty much is what he said on the first day. It's who you know, not what you know. QFPP, brilliant. A lot brilliant than the other two ways into an airline. The other two, you need like 3,000, 6,000 hours on particular aircraft, and what else? Like IFR and multi-engine combination aircraft and all that sort of stuff. So you need all of that before you can even be accepted. QFPP program is a lot better in the ways of they can mold you the way that they want and all that sort of stuff. So RMIT, okay, yeah. Oh, okay, cool. Where is RMIT? Never heard of it. Not to mention, like I just really wanted to go through QFPP the whole time. So Victoria? Oh yeah, cool. That's all good. That's probably why I've never heard of it. Alright, so we are getting into the nitty gritty. Our TOD, top of descent, is coming up. This is where things get interesting. Climb. Alright, so we're at 4,400, yep. Oh, Point Cook. That's south of Melbourne, isn't it? I'm not doing anything fancy at the moment with ATC. I'm just using the default. There's just so much to do with Pro ATC when I fly with that crap. So just do a basic stream with just the normal ATC for now, and then I'll do a full-blown stream with all that other lovely stuff in the future. Yeah, Point Cook, when I was in the army, I went down there to see a friend, that's all. Their Navy base is down that way. Alrighty, come on. So TOD should be a little whiles off here. 16 position. So this is just the VNav part, so it knows when to do things. So that's cancel VNav. We don't want to cancel. Okay, so we're coming up to top of descent now. Alright, so VNav has now popped up on our screen. I'm going to click on VNav. So what will happen when we get to the TOD, we have set our altitude to 4,900, and when our VNav comes down to here, it will start dropping to our 4,900. As you see, we've got altitude select, LNAV is on to keep following our flight plan, and we shall get going pretty good. Okay, so this aircraft, really weird. Since while we're waiting, I'm just gonna do a few things. Radios. Okay, so there is the radio stacks on left and right. I can change it to work on the one by myself, and this guy can change it to work on by himself too. He could also change it to both and also set it to both. However, if I want to do FMS, I make sure both of these are tuned to the FMS, and then I can go to the aircraft tuner here and change all the radios through there. Now, if that's easier for you, good. If you're doing a lot of flights with VORs as your what do you call it, your waypoints, you can set all these up. Have I been accepted by the program? I've just applied for it so far. As I've still got just under 3 years to go, probably not going to get it until sometime next year. It's based on how you go in grades. Now, there's 6 universities doing it. I know of 2, that is USQ and Griffith University. There's another 4 universities that I don't know that are in the League of Aviation. There's only 6 universities around Australia that actually do aviation, believe it or not, and everyone's fighting for it. So apart from the 6 universities, I do know USQ has the highest % rate of getting into QFPP. So yeah, that's why I'm at USQ. And that is coming from Qantas. The more people that they hire or accept into QFPP are USQ. And there's only 60 people per intake into QFPP. 60 people, which is really, yeah. Alright, now to get back on track, we have to bring it down to 850. So we're bringing our propellers down to 850 now, and we are now controlling the throttle, so we need to do this part, and we're going to set for NTOP here. Okay, so we are actually reducing speed. Request reduce land at 850 RPM mode there. So we need now need to do throttle. And also, speaking of the camera, those computers, comms before, there's also another comms radio there. So don't use it, but there is like 3 or 4 different ways of doing comms. It's really weird. We are now on our way down. As you can see, it is level, so we are moving very rapidly down. No, the MECIR is all part of the Bachelor, believe it or not. We also need, like, we do our Bachelor, so we do all the theory sort of stuff at the university. Then on our 3rd year we go to do our diploma of CPL and IFR training. I have done my PPLs already, so it's going to be quite a breezy subject at CPL. The IFR I pretty much do in the simulator already, so I just need to apply the sim stuff to real life and learn a bit more on how to do it more realistically. Then after that we go back to the university with our credit from the diploma of aviation. Then we get our credit, we can graduate, then we go on to our QFPP if we're accepted, which we can either get accepted next year, the year after, or the year after that. Doesn't really matter. So if you calculate that, that's 120, that's 180 intakes over the next 3 years, and like I said, over the next 5 years they're looking at about 1,700 to 2,000, new members for Qantas, and they are going up to probably looking at a 5,000 to 10,000 intake in the Qantas over the next 7. Reasons being is the 747s are leaving service next year. December, I think, will be the last flight, somewhere around that. 747s in Qantas are no longer, so a lot of the pilots in the 747 fleet are leaving. So that is a lot of pilots, because they don't want to convert down to a first officer again and fly at a lower rank. Now, how it works in aviation, in Qantas anyways, and other airlines, you will start as a first officer over in that seat over there. So you'll be over here doing your stuff. Okay, you'll be in the first officer's seat in QantasLink for roughly about 2 years, maybe longer depending on how you go. If you get given a command, you'll be back over in the other seat there. However, if you change out of this aircraft, whether you're in QantasLink or going to Qantas Main or another airline like Jetstar or Virgin, you will come back into the seat. So say I was a captain of the Q400. Now, if you become a commander of the aircraft, a captain, you have to give back to the airline. So you come a QantasLink captain, they train you. You need to give back that training so you don't pay for it. So that is 2 years. So they trained you up to be a commander of an aircraft. You need to give them 2 years. Okay. After that 2 years, you can stay as a commander or you can move up. So you go over to Qantas Main, which is the 737s, A380, 747s at the moment, and all those other ones. That's Qantas Main. If you go on a 737, you're back to first officer over that side for probably another 3 years because it's a bigger aircraft. When there's a position available for you, you can go over to the first officer. Again, you will have to do 2 years as a commander in Qantas Main, flying the 737 or A380 or whatever else you choose to fly. Now, if you don't give back and you leave, you actually have to pay them the difference to what. So, okay, you did 1 year in Qantas 737 and you retire. You actually have to pay back that year that they trained you. So, say they trained you $20,000 a year. So you've done 1 year. That's $20,000 you don't have to pay, but you do need to pay the other $20,000. So it's just, yeah, service. You pay them back in service of flying. Yeah, it's really good. Can't wait to get there. I will probably do Qantas Main eventually, but I'm quite liking the Dash 9, and if I can get into the Dash 9 command seat for 2 years, bring it on. I'm really looking forward to it. We actually met yesterday a actual pilot that came in and talked to us. He's been in command for 6 months. Their flying time can be 3 to 4 flights a day for 7 days. 5 days off, back on again for 3 days, 2 days off, back on again for 4 days, 5 days off, back on. But those 5 days off, you're not having a holiday, you're actually studying the charts and the standard operating procedures and all that sort of stuff change over and over and over and over and over again. So you need to be on the ball every single time you go out flying. So yeah, it's a bit out there. Alright, so we should be very close. Reduce NP landing. Alright, so we have an aircraft 1,300 feet to our right there. Our T.C.A.S is showing us really nicely. We'll go ahead and turn this now off to normal. We need to turn that on. We do need to talk to these guys. Let's go to nearest airport list, Brisbane. Let's go to that. Of course it would be runway 19, wouldn't it?
VFR aircraft, stay directed to flight. All aircraft read back, hold short.
Alright, so we're coming into, is it to...
Brisbane, airport information, Bravo, 0.
289, I think it was. Or 298. Let's have a look. 282.
Tower, shore 1254, ready to go. Runway 19, IFR, Auckland.
Short 1254, short, runway 19, traffic has Airbus A321 on the runway.
Hold short, runway 19, shore 1.
Turn our feathers on and turn our pumps on. Turn our hydraulics on.
Short 1254, taxi into position and hold.
Let's go to our hold list here.
Shore 1254.
Perf page. Next to Vina. Navigation. Where's our hold page? Where's our hold page? Alright, so that was my fault there.
Pacific Contact 420, contact Brisbane departure on 125.7.
Menu.
125.7,
There was a hold page somewhere.
Short 1254, clear to take off, runway 19.
clear for takeoff, runway 19, shore 1254.
Of course I don't know where it is when I need it. Let's see if we can find arrival to... Flight plan. Arrive.
Brisbane Tower, Cessna Victor Hotel Mike Lima November, is 1 miles southwest with Bravo, inland.
Everything changes when you want to get out there, don't it? Doesn't it? That's just an overspeed there.
125.7, shore 125.
Alright, so they want us to land on runway 9, so we're going to have to do this without the... So request a full stop land. Alright, so heading... Why does the weather change every single time I come to land? It's so weird. Alright, so we're not going to be doing any VNAV approach, unfortunately, but that's okay, whatever. Alright, so we're coming out to 4,900 there. Make sure I check the speed. So annoying. Because this aircraft for some reason does not... Yeah. It doesn't set up like the PMDG where you can change the VNAV and all that crap and all the fucking lovely bits and pieces where do you want to land at a certain thing. Arrive. Can I change this? Thank you, I can change it. Okay, so runway 1. There we go. So runway 19. So there we go. we're going to come out to sync. Okay, 14. Alright, so learn something new every day. See, we're going to go out to 2. Thank you. We're going to do AZ, approach those 3. Done. And we're going to come out to 2. We're going to enter. We're going to click. Enter. Get rid of this. Get rid of this. Problem is I don't think it's going to show up. I know what we can do. Delete. Arrive. YVVN. Accept. 19.3. Accept. 14. Set. I'm going to go to 2. Set. I'm going to go 2. Set. 1. Set. Enter. Link in. Done. Get rid of that. Done. Done. Get rid of that. Alright, that's good. Now we can go back to nav. Null nav. Alright, we're good. So that's how you can change things if they stuff up. Got so many friggin' messages coming, I'm gonna have to check that when I get off. What we need to do now is come over here and exfil this. So we exfil the flight plan. So we change the flight plan over here as well. Flight plan's exfilled. That was actually quite... It took me an hour and a half to get up there last time. But, yeah, it only took me an hour to get back. So we did have a pretty good tailwind there. So, alright, we're coming in now. Alright, so what we need to do is quickly change the format. So we can go and do 196 for our landing course.
Traffic. Descend. Crossing. Descend.
Alrighty, so we'll get up here to the runway 19 marker and then we'll kick out to the left here in a minute. Here we go. Actually, it's going to take us out to the right. Alright, so that's just meaning that we're in reverse. We don't need to be in reverse. We just come down to the idle part, somewhere just there, below idle. Alright, so now our aircraft is doing a right turn. What are we doing now? Come on, aircraft, what are you doing? I would hazard to guess that it's going to give us either a full right turn in a minute or a left turn. Oh no, she's just going to backtrack that way. That's all good. All we do now is just do a turnaround. So basically we just go heading. Heading, select. Done. Just go down that side of the runway. Alright, so all we need to do is just do our reciprocal. So we'll just do a little bit more out to the reciprocal, so 20 degrees should be fine. Our reciprocal 16. So that'll give us a backtrack on runway 19 and it'll take us out there as well. Alright, so I'm going to have to check the charts real quickly. Approach. One 196, 220, 250. Select. Alright, pull up on the throttle here and we'll stop it from increasing. We can go ahead and drop flaps 5. What I'm going to do next time is not even bother about putting in the approach as this bloody sim decides to change. Like one day it'll tell me that I'm going to be landing on 19 and then the next it'll be telling I'm landing on 1 when I get there. So things change in that hour that you're flying, so it's really annoying. But that's the way it works in the real world. Alright, so we're going to start turning to the left here. I'm going to hit up the approach button. 196. And check our little chart here. Flaps at 200, yes, okay. Flaps at 180. When can the gear come down? Does it say? Maximum flaps to be extended. Alright, so now we're on altitude select or whatever. So we're going to go up to 3000. Alright, there's the runway. We may have to go back just a teeny bit. Drop the gear. G'day mate, welcome to the stream. Alright, so 2500. Flaps 15 now. Alright, we're going to take over. The LNAV doesn't really line up properly sometimes because you have to change things way back there, and I don't want to go all the way back out there and change things and come back in, so we're just going to do it manually. Alrighty. If we didn't have to change, honestly, if we did not have to change the thing, that runway would have been probably the perfect lineup. So, alright, so everything's on. We're good to going. Lights are all on. Everything's on. Pull up, pull up, pull up. No, we don't have to pull up yet. Alright. Get rid of that annoying noise for you. Alright. Alright, there we go. Pulling up. Let's see if I can do a nice landing. Looks like it's coming in for a good one. There it is. Fine then. I'm not going to worry about that. We'll go to the next one. Stupid mic is picking up my fucking joystick again. Squeaky ass joystick. And CC that as well. Alrighty, cool. Alright, so basically that is the landing right there. Probably not as better, good as I wanted it, but yes, it is a stream, but that's good enough. Alright. Bleeds are on. Turn the bleeds down to normal. I'm not even going to listen to these guys because I'll just go to my own one. Alright, we need our lights off. as well. So lights off, light back to red. That can come back up to 10. Flaps are up. So that's how you can tell who's like main and who's not. That sort of stuff. Alrighty. So as we're taxiing in, the first officer will be probably writing down this thing. So time at takeoff, time at landing. So that's in UTC time. Initial fuel on board and used. So how much fuel we had, how much fuel we have now, and how much we used. That's what he would be writing right now, and then he would have a look at these next page, and it will give us the GPS coordinates for our IRS and all of that lovely bits and pieces. You can look at our GPS and all that sort of stuff. So it's all good and dandy. So he'll be writing that up right now. Alright, let's do a power on. We'll turn our taxi lights off. We're going to go into number 16 here. That's 17. I'm going to try and get a different scenery. This looks like it's a botched up one. So I think I can get a better one than this. I'll go over to 16. The one over at Rockhampton looks really, really good. So I'm going to get Brisbane from the same bloke. No brakes, all done by the lovely reverse levers. We're going to start it up. And we'll feather out. Hydraulics off. Turn that off there. Off, 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 off. Bleeds off. That's on. Bleed air on. And engine completely off. Okay, that's pretty much it. That's off. Fasten seatbelt sign should have been on. Turn the main bus on. Done, done, done. Caution. Go here. Flight. Delete flight plan. Delete. And go there. And we're ready to go for our next round. Go here. You don't really need to delete it on both because you can just exfil. Delete flight plan. And it's off. Okay, so that's it there. I'll just leave it there like that. Alright. Open up the doors. Done and done. Go ahead and turn off that now. Done, done, done. Basically, we're ready for another flight now. I'll go down a full shutdown now. I'll just show you what it is. Not going to worry about turning on the power generator, so because I'm not going to. I'll probably start this again with APU. So turn off the turning off the off. Confirm. Off. Confirm. Alright, so they're off now. They can turn off automatically. You don't have to do that if you don't wish. Okay, your dampener off and the anti-skid off. Leaving the lights on for the last minute. Off, 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 off. Alright, so turn basically everything off. Now you turn that light off and we're good to get going. So really, it is a very easy aircraft to shut down. Once it is shut down, it is good to go. Alright. Any questions, leave them in the comments and I will post the link for this aircraft to get it for yourself. Anyways, thank you very much and see you later.